Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me again. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys another foundation that I've recently started trying out. Like the past few months I've obviously been looking for something new. I did find something, but I'm always on the hunt for foundations. So majority of the products that I usually look at that stands out for me is foundations and eyeshadows. Those are the two that I am totally obsessed with. So basically I would try anything until I really find something, and then I'll probably still try again. So when I started asking for recommendations for foundations specifically for my skin, and as you can notice, I've got the rosacea obviously still going on. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Elsie and I'm posting as RedBlend Rosacea for obvious reasons. So I mean, I was diagnosed with rosacea about just over a year ago, and I've been through an absolute roller coaster with my skin the past 20 years, so it's nothing new for me. So of all the makeup products you get out there, the one thing that I absolutely love the most is foundation. Testing out foundations and seeing how they cope against my skin. So when I started asking for recommendations, a few brands popped up, and of the brands that was like just getting into the comments and everyone is just commenting saying the same brand, it was the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. So this is basically what it looks like. A bit blurry. And this shade I have now is Sand Beige. I did try it previously and I posted about it on Instagram. I showed what it looked like on my skin, but that was the wrong shade, so I had to add some lightening drops to it. So I went ahead and tried a shade that's slightly lighter, because what I tried initially before was the number 40 Warm Beige, and it was just way too dark, way too dark. So yeah, the thing is, the best way I can actually explain this foundation is just to run through all the points that I look at when I look at a foundation. What I look for, which specific points are important for me. A foundation needs to be full coverage for me, obviously, which it absolutely is. Usually with some foundations I find that I need to have a green concealer with it before it really gives me proper like full coverage. But with the Catrice foundation I don't use a green concealer at all. I don't need to. So full coverage, absolutely. I'm struggling with a dry skin at the moment. It's becoming better a little bit, but I've changed my products, so I'm thinking it's the products that's starting to balance out my skin now again. But a foundation that's hydrating or that basically helps or doesn't promote dryness is something that's very important for me, and this specific one is mattifying. So I have used it before and I haven't actually seen that it causes any issues with the dryness of my skin, so that's good. Then the longevity of the foundation. On the bottle it says there it lasts up to 24 hours, which I've never tried before, but I can definitely say that when I did use this, I mean, I applied in the morning and late in the afternoon it's still there. It's pretty good when it comes to long wearing. So there, I'm absolutely happy with this foundation. Then the fourth point is affordability. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw the other video that I did on, at the moment it's my favorite one, the Smashbox foundation. But I mentioned there that I'm still looking for something that's a little bit more affordable, like way more affordable even, that performs just as well. And I actually think these two foundations are really going to be my go-to foundations from now on, because I mean the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation is like under 200 Rand depending on where you buy it. and if there's any specials or anything running, so it's really affordable. And obviously the other thing is they are cruelty free, which is amazing. So of all the 5 points that I look at, which cruelty free is the 5th one, of all the 5 points that I look at for any foundation actually, it ticks all 5 boxes actually. So I'm very happy with this foundation. But the thing is, I've watched so many videos on it and I haven't seen anyone mention this. I haven't seen anyone have any problems applying it. And I haven't seen anyone mentioning this on the videos, that they have issues applying the foundation or anything like that. But when I got the foundation and I swatched it that evening, I freaked out like slightly. I was like, no, this can't be. So even though it ticks all the 5 boxes for me, there is something that it's not bothersome, but it's just that this foundation, you need to have a little bit more patience when you are applying. It's not like other foundation where you can just basically dot it on your skin and you can actually just blend it in with your fingers. That's how I usually applied foundation in earlier years, up until recently when I started using like cream based foundations and so on. But I'm going to show you guys what happens on my skin. Just to explain to you what my thoughts on why I think about the foundation the way I do. Because what happened was, we went out the evening and we went to the malls and we bought the foundation and got home, and then later the evening I was like, I'm itchy, I want to try this foundation, I want to swatch it, I want to see if the shade is right, I want to feel it, I want to see what it does. And I applied a drop or two on my finger, and then I started to try and like, because this is obviously the area that's the most concerning for me, so literally immediately when I started applying and trying to like blend it in, it wipes off the top layer of my skin and it settles right into those pores. So what happens is, as soon as you start blending, trying to blend the foundation out with your finger, like ever so slightly, I saw all the pores, like, because obviously now it's a smooth surface because the pores that's basically like a hole in your skin is solid level with foundation. So I was horrified. I was like, oh dear, no, don't tell me this. I left the foundation for a few days, like a week or so, and I'm like, let me just get back to it when I'm ready for this. And then when I sat down with the foundation and I'm like, I'm gonna use this one today now and see what happens and think about it. Sorry, I'm just trying to quickly find my brush. Okay, you think about it and you see the other YouTubers out there posting videos about foundation and how they apply it. There's a few ways. I mean, you can use your fingers, you can use sponges, you can use, there's like, I don't know how many different brushes out there that you can use to apply foundation. But this specific foundation for me was like, because it's very runny, it's like, I'm gonna quickly show you, for those of you who haven't seen the foundation yet and what it actually looks like. Like the dropper, you basically push it up like that and it sucks it up into the dropper and you pop it out and it is literally watery like which is not a problem. I mean, it's, even though it is like that, it is still extremely full coverage. I can't actually believe it. But if you think about it being so runny, I wouldn't use a sponge to apply this. I mean, if you're struggling with redness like this or discoloration on your skin that's very like in your face, you want full coverage. You don't want the foundation to be soaked into a applicator and basically you lose the foundation. So for myself, I didn't even think of trying to apply this with a sponge. I didn't. And then I thought about the sponges, not the sponges, the brushes that I do have. I have the normal traditional, this is the one that I use for like foundation, this normal traditional flat foundation brush. That's the one that I'm currently now using. And then also these ones, this is more of your this is what I use more for cream based foundations. It's a Real Techniques brush. I use this to buff out cream foundations, and I use this also with the Smashbox foundation, for example, because those foundations are a little bit more I don't know what the word is, like a caramel sauce consistency, so it works well with that. But then when I thought about the Catrice one, because it's a liquid, I was like, yeah, I don't want the foundation to soak up into whatever I'm using to apply it, but I also don't want it to look the way it does when you use your fingers. So then I thought the obvious go-to for me was like a foundation brush like this, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean and why I say this. Let's see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to prime my skin on the one side with a pore minimizing primer, and I'm going to use a hydrating primer on the other side, just so I can see the difference, because I haven't actually tried those combinations yet. The Catrice one, because I know it is a mattifying foundation, I was just like, you know what, I just want to go in with it just like that. But yeah, I'm going to apply the primer on this side for the pores, and on this side I'm going to do the hydrating primer. Okay, so I've just applied primer. I'm just going to show you guys what I used. On my right hand side I used the Catrice Goodbye Pores primer, just to see what it does if I do use like a pore minimizing type of primer. And then on my left hand side I used the Revolution Hydrate primer. Just remember, a hydrating primer is not usually something that is specifically for like fine lines and things like that and pores, to minimize that. It's basically just to give a little bit of hydration to the skin before you go in with foundation. So there's probably not going to be too much difference on this side when it comes to the pores, but this side I'm hoping it's going to look more like of a smooth texture and complexion. I'm going to just quickly go in and dot it all over, then I'm going to buff it in with the brush. I'm going to try and show you guys what the... No, let me quickly just try and show you. I want to see if it's going to happen now. I'm going to take a little bit on my finger and try and like blend it in to show you what I basically mean. If you just use your fingers. Here we go. I don't know if you can see. Let me just try and move in a bit closer. Maybe try and turn down the lights too. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but what happens with the foundation, if you do try and use your fingers to apply it and try and blend it in, I don't know if you can see over here, it's like, yes, there is coverage and it is like covering up the red, but because you're not using a brush to apply it, it's like literally goes and sits in that pore and you look like a spotty mess. Right, so I would just say with this foundation, especially a brush is a good idea to go. Because what happens with the brush is the brush just applies the right amount of foundation without settling there, and the motion you make with the brush helps to buff it out of those pores. So yeah, just a side note. But that's the thing, as soon as you start moving to less expensive foundations, that's probably the I would say the sacrifice you do make. Like maybe in the application is a bit finicky, or or something about the foundation isn't exactly what you used to, but this specific one, I do not mind having to spend a little bit more time with the application of the foundation. For the price range, I mean, seriously, it is so inexpensive compared to other foundations I've seen and tried and seen people recommend. I mean, there's some foundations that go up to 1,200 rand for a bottle. I'm not that crazy. But yeah, I'm just gonna quickly apply this, and then as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna check in with you guys and have a chat about all of that, and then finish up my makeup. And what I'm gonna do as well, I'm gonna show you guys a wear test on this throughout the day. I'm gonna show you guys the wear test and how it lasts throughout the day, because that's also something I don't know if it's just my skin that reacts differently to it, but my wear time and how the foundation changes throughout the day is totally different from the foundation reviews I've seen on YouTube. So I'm gonna do the test, the wear test for you guys as well, and then show you guys at the end. But let me quickly apply all of this and get this spots looking normally again, and then I'll check back with you guys. Okay, so let's quickly see. I've applied the foundation on both sides. This side is the hydrating side with the hydrating primer underneath, and this side is the side with the pore minimizing primer. I don't know if I just want to no, it's obvious. Okay. Oh. I can immediately see, like when I tried to apply this side that I had the pore minimizing primer on, I was so struggling with the coverage on this. I mean, if this side is totally covered, like it actually almost looks like this whole area over there. looks one shade. Then, sorry, I'm going like this because I'm like in between my setup, I can't see past it. But when you compare this side, this whole area, like in person, it looks like two different foundations that I'm wearing, but it's not. It's the two different primers. And I know a lot of people say that they swear by primers, or they don't like using primers because it doesn't make a difference. It does make a difference. It depends on what you want a foundation to do. So just remember that before trying a primer, because I've tried it's also a Catrice brand, but I just feel, I don't feel they work together for me. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it like that. And I'm gonna see if there's maybe a difference between the wear. If the primer actually helps to block out the oil production coming up to the foundation, or if the hydrating one on this side maybe causes it to break up quicker throughout the day, because application wise it's like I don't know. But I mean, obviously if I didn't use the primer underneath and it looked like this side, I would be like over the moon, totally over the moon. But yeah, like I mentioned to you guys, with this specific brush, if you compare the two of these, this one, I mean, you don't think they would perform differently, but this one, because it is flat like that, and this one is more, well, not flat, this one is more rounded. So if you see, it's like domed, and it basically looks like a puffy brush in comparison to this one. This one is, it looks like it's also just as big, but as soon as you turn it like that, it's flat. So because you use the flat surface of the foundation and you basically pat it on, it really helps with those pores. It helps like not having the foundation sink into the pore, where this one I feel would start wiping, doing the same wiping motion as the finger. So it's just my idea, and luckily my first instinct worked. But that's just one of the things that I need to mention about the foundation, that I find with me having so prominent pores because of rosacea, it's one of those lucky things we also struggle with really bad, is we struggle with very like prominent pores, and there's not really, I feel there's not much that we can do, because there are products out there to help minimize that on a natural basis, that you look without applying primers and things to help minimize and get them smaller. But what you don't know if you're going to react to that certain product, so I don't really want to take that chances. What I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly finish off my makeup. I'm going to do the whole face look for today, and then we're going to start doing the wear test. I'm going to do a check-in time with you guys just now as soon as I'm done. At the moment, I can say we're starting off with 10 o'clock roundabout, because this is the time that I've finished applying my foundation, and then we see you guys later. guys, I need to this is making me cringe. It's so obvious, like you can't see the application of the concealer on this side. On this side it literally doesn't look like the two are blending, like you there's an entire line where you can see there's an entire line where you can actually see the concealer, and on this side I can't really tell. I mean, obviously you see where the contouring and the highlighting starts playing on your skin, but I'm gonna try and say this quickly. Just hold on. So here we have the final makeup look for today. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to, obviously our starting time was 10 o'clock when I finished applying my foundation. I'm going to just run through my day like we normally do. Myself and my baby girl, and then I'm going to check in with you guys throughout the day, just to show you guys how the foundation fares, if it needs any touch-ups, if it needs powdering throughout the day, how it lasts and all of that things. So I'm going to probably have like 2 check-ins, maybe later this afternoon and then just before I take it off tonight, and then I'll just come in and check in with you guys again the last one to say what I'm thinking about it, and then we'll see you later. Alright everyone, so I didn't manage to do the afternoon check-in. Today was a little bit hectic with my little girl and everything, so I'm only managing now to sit down quickly to show you guys what the foundation looks like just before I'm going to be taking it off. So I've had the foundation on for 9 hours, and I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. The only areas where I do see a little bit of shine is literally just over there, and obviously this T-zone area, because this is the normal area that everyone always has some form of shine. But I mean, it's still completely covered. I mean, if there's a video that I've done previously on my makeup removal, so if it maybe looks like some of my coverage is lost, trust me, it's not. It's still pretty damn covered up like I would like it to be. When I really look at the different sides, because this side was the hydrating primer and this side was the pore minimizing, the goodbye pores primer, I don't see a difference when it comes to the shine, but obviously like when I applied it as well, you could see the difference in the coverage. I did build it up a little bit over here, but still, it like now you can like definitely like it's you can't miss it. You still see this line running over here between the concealer and the foundation, where on this side I still feel it's still very well blended. So yeah, I mean, overall I'm very happy with the Catrice foundation. It does live up to what they say. It's just that the application of it for me is a little bit finicky, and also I find that if you use, I would think if you use any of those funny silicone textured types of primers, you're gonna probably struggle like this. But that's just me. I just find that hydrating primers underneath my foundation is pretty much what I look for and how I like it to be. Because at the moment, if I look at my pores on both sides, they basically look exactly the same. So, but yeah, all in all, I'm very happy with the Catrice foundation. So in the future, I am still going to be doing all kinds of makeup videos and skincare videos and videos regarding sensitive skin and rosacea in particular, because that's something that I have. So if it's something that you find that you're interested in it, you're more than welcome to click subscribe. I'm going to be linking videos at the end of this video that I've done previously. So you're more than welcome to click there and go and check there what I'm doing over there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope we see each other soon.